I've given you all the paperwork to look over.
Yeah.
Part of the paperwork is your Officer Bill of Rights. I just need you to sign it saying that I did provide you with a copy. Here.
What's today's date?
Today is the 20th. Alright. I'll make sure you get a copy of this before you leave today, so I'm just going to take so I don't forget. Alright, so today's date is October 20th, 2022. The time according to my watch is currently 6:10 p.m. I will be recording this interview to ensure the accuracy of information we discuss. Please acknowledge that you are aware this interview is being recorded.
I do aware.
Okay. Before we start, I want to read you your investigating warnings. I wish to advise you that you are being questioned as part of an official internal administrative investigation of the Manalapan Police Department. You will be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to the performance of your official duties or fitness for duty. I am not questioning you for the purpose of criminal prosecution. Your statements, any information or evidence that is gained by reason of such statements cannot be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to the matter currently under investigation or in a subsequent departmental charges. Immunity from giving a compelled administrative statement does not extend to perjury or untruthfulness, and as such, may subject you to both criminal prosecution as a felony under Florida State Statute 83702, perjury in an official proceeding. And the imposition of disciplinary action by the police department. You are further reminded that during the course of this interview and investigation, you are subject to all Manalapan Police Department rules and regulations. Do you understand these? What I've just read you, these warnings. Can I see your pen for a second?
Yeah.
Please raise your right hand so I may swear you in. Under penalty of perjury, do you swear or affirm the statement you are to provide regarding this administrative investigation will be truthful?
I swear.
Okay, I want you to speak a little louder as well, okay? You swear?
I swear.
Okay. You put your hand down. This interview is being conducted at Manalapan Town Hall Council Chambers, 600 South Ocean Boulevard, Manalapan, Florida. I'm Sergeant Nicolbe Hernandez of the Manalapan Police Department. I have been assigned to conduct this investigation. Have you been provided a copy of the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights?
Yes.
Have I afforded you the opportunity to review all evidence I have gathered prior to you making any statement?
Yes.
President is Officer Dibin Greorge. The statement is being taken in reference to administrative review, case number 2022-002. Please state your name.
Dibin Greorge.
How long have you been employed with Manalapan Police Department?
Since February of 2022.
Okay. Have you been employed with any other law enforcement agency?
No.
Okay. Come in a little more because I'm scared this won't pick it up. Okay, on September 18, 2022, did you make contact with a white male located on Manalapan Beach in reference to a jet ski?
Yes.
Why did you make contact?
The jet ski was there in front of a bunch of swimmers. I thought it was abandoned, so I did not know. I didn't see anyone near it. I saw a family of 4, 2 children, mother and father, and I just asked if it was their jet ski, but they said no. And I just wanted to know where the jet ski owner was and if they were close to the vessel or if it was abandoned. So I put over the radio saying that it was abandoned and till I could find the contact or make contact with the owner.
Okay. So you put over the radio and then what happened?
So I went looking around, but the one person said it could be that male. So I went over there to go and make contact with them. So as I went over there to make contact with them, he had some type of stance that he's about to fight me, but I said something to get him off track. So what I said to him, was, hey, are you a citizen? And he's like, yeah. And then, so that his buddies also got distracted by the statement I said as well. So my concern was officer safety, that I did not want them to ambush me. So, because it's had prior situations that, on the beach, that if I'm not watching what's going on, someone could ambush me, or I've had people try to throw stuff while I'm operating an ATV. So I said something like that, which I didn't think was offensive or anything like that in any shape or manner. And just so I could get him off his toes, because it's not something you would act, like, so this way. But then I asked him, hey, can you, my name is Officer George, can you, I just want to talk to you for a bit, consensual. So I just wanted to mind if I could speak to you privately. This way, I just didn't want them to ambush and people, the swimmers or anything, so I want to talk to them privately. I started explaining to him the whole situation and told him it's just a safety issue, because the jet ski, the PWC, personal watercraft was close to swimmers. I explained that, from my viewpoint. And then from there, I tried to explain certain other things, that's why.
Okay. So you explained certain other things to him, and what happened after you explained stuff to him?
He wanted to know the state statute, and I said to him, I don't know the state statute out of my head, but if you could Google it, then you could find it. So I didn't want to give him the wrong information. So at that point, I just didn't, my main concern was his friends kept coming closer to me. So I had to pull him 2 times away. So otherwise, my concern was safety. So my thing was that, I told him my point of view of explaining to him, this is not technically a swim zone. And, and the thing is that even though your PWC is here, God forbid someone gets hurt, gets injured, anything of that type of nature. That's what my concern was. I should have advised him that he could have parked it further down. I kind of did say, I don't recall, but I could have told him park it further down. That's what a lot of jet skis and boats do hang out, is further down. So if you parked it further down, I know, there's no swimmers. That's really what it was. But his friends were there, which I understand, you want to hang out with your friends and everything, but it's that jet ski, let's just say if someone's swimming, especially in that area where the pump house is, a bunch of kids are there, high school kids to young adults to even older adults who are swimming in that area. And if he's unable to see a person swimming and he hits them, or if they drown, there's no lifeguard, people will not be able to do first aid, I don't know. So that my main concern was safety issue. So I tried to explain to him, it's a safety, but I told him that, I remember when I took my license for it, you couldn't park or moor the bottom of the jet ski. So I started explaining it to him and things of that nature. I told him that we've had situations that...
You said when you took what? I'm sorry.
I took a boating safety course. So that's why I also explained to him that, we've had situations where that, like, if you're not close to your vessel, it might be considered abandoned. The way I probably said it to him was different. And it could be, it could be abandoned vessel. It could be people going to assume that it's immigration coming in. I started explaining to him. I went more into detail than I should have went into with him.
Okay.
But I want to,
So once you explained everything to him, what happened?
Then he just got his vessel and said, I'll just move. I said, okay. So then from there he left. And then, but what I should have done was gave him my card and my number, so this way I could find the state statute for him and give it to him, and done a better job with it. But at that point, my concern was that if I even went down to write it, my concern was that if I get, if someone's gonna ambush me, that's really what it was coming down. Sorry about that.
So you felt as if you were worried about your officer's safety.
Yeah.
Am I understand that correct?
Yeah.
Did you ever get on the radio and ask for backup?
No, because he did not come off as a threatening way, but the thing is that I didn't want, my back was against the wall. So the thing was that...
I'm lost. You say your back was against a wall. What wall is on the beach?
That with what is it? That wall, it's not really a wall, but there were less people on that side.
So I'm not understanding. So your back was against the wall.
No.
Are you mean literally back? Your
No,
back
no,
was against,
no,
or
no.
is it a figure of speech? Are you
Figure of
okay?
speech,
So
yeah.
you felt your back was against the wall because
Yeah.
of what?
Because there was less swimmers or less people on that, you know, like the kids always hang out on top by the pump house? That
I know
con-
the pump house.
Yeah, that concrete, so there was less people there. So I know I'm able to escape. But the thing is that, where
Put
I
your
come,
phone on silent, please.
sorry about that. I thought it was on silent.
Was there anyone ever standing behind you during the time?
No,
Okay.
no.
So technically your back was against the wall. You just were,
I knew that, you know, but he was very, you know, collected with me, and, you know, he was very collected, very professional with the fact that, you know, I knew that I could handle it, and I didn't need, you know, certain things, but I know he was angry with the way he was saying, because I didn't have the statute and certain things, and that's the only issue.
okay.
So the way I came off was, you know, I could say that I was just more worried about my surrounding than helping him individually. And if I gave him my number, which I normally do, give my card, then he could always reach out to me. I could go on my laptop and figure it out and give it to him,
Okay.
which I've done in the past.
All right. So you explain everything to him, then what happens?
He leaves, and I just do my regular beach patrol. I just see, you know, no one's playing music, or there's no ordinance violation. And from that aspect, then we had a consensual conversation, you know, and that's all. We had a consensual conversation about it. I started explaining it to him, and it was up to his discretion. And I just, you know, from there, I just left. And I told my sergeant, you know, about what happened. I said, hey, listen, this is what happened. But I also put it over the radio, because let's just say if that vessel did hit someone, I'm able to know what vessel it is from the tag.
So when you called it out over the radio, what'd you call it out as?
I just said there's a PWC, or there's a jet ski on the beach, and this is the tag. So God forbid anyone does get hurt or anything, because there were a lot of swimmers by that personal watercraft. So let's just say if someone did get hurt, we're able to track it back.
And I just want to make sure was there anyone on the jet ski at the time?
No.
Did you see the jet ski, someone on the jet ski actually operating the jet ski in the water close to swimmers?
Yes. No.
You observed that?
When he got on and left, yes.
I'm saying, okay, prior,
No.
you got on the beach, did you observe him on the jet ski close to swimmers, operating that jet ski close to the swimmers?
No, not operating it. The jet ski was
Did
there.
you observe him in a reckless manner on that jet ski close to swimmers?
After he left. Not in a reckless manner, but he was safe, he was getting out.
My question is this. At any time, had you saw him operating that vessel in a reckless manner prior to you seeing that jet ski on the beach?
No.
Okay. All right, so you're done, you make contact with him, you leave, you say you advise your sergeant what happened. Is that correct?
Yeah.
When you advised your sergeant what happened, were you on the beach, or had you cleared the scene completely?
No, I cleared the scene. And then from there, I cleared it, and then I had to drop off some things. I even told my sergeant about what happened and explained to him, hey, this is who I made contact with, you know, this, that. So this person may call because I know they were upset. Okay. So I already knew.
Okay, did you ever ask him if he was a citizen?
Yeah.
And exactly why did you ask him, was he a citizen?
The reason why I asked him was that it's something that no one would ever say, but a lot of people ask, what's your nationality, what is your background? You know, if people think that's offensive, then, you know, I didn't think, you know, if people, so I just figured it wasn't offensive. But it's something you won't ask someone, but it's able to get you off your feet, to make you think, so that, meaning that he won't be able to predetermine or, you know, have something aligned. So it's to get him off his feet.
So is that a question you ask on a regular basis when you make contact with individuals?
No, because of the boating of that situation, because in the past that we had prior situations of people coming on, you know,
I don't understand.
because we have people coming in from boats and stuff, so that's the only reason why I just, you know, because I know it won't be a common thing, but if that person,
You said people coming on boats and stuff. I mean, you got to
meaning
flat
like,
out.
meaning like, you know, something to do with, how do I say it? That we had like situations that like people coming as like legal immigrants coming onto a boat and coming in. So the thing is that that it's from that situation, that's the only reason why I brought that up, to get him off his feet.
Okay. Did you ever tell him he should never ask an officer if they're a citizen?
No, the way I said it is that you shouldn't ask someone that an officer, because most police officers have to be U.S. citizens, so that's why I explained that to him.
You explain that to him.
Yeah, saying that I told him like, you know, so he asked me if I was, and I said, yeah. And I said to him, most police officers, you know, for you to become a police officer, or do certain jobs, certain things like that, you do have to be a citizen. I said, yeah.
So you never told him you shouldn't ask police officers if they are citizens?
No, I told him that you should never encounter the way, I don't know how to explain it. I did say something similar to that, yes.
What did you say? Do you remember exactly? Do you recall what you said?
I said that you shouldn't ask a police officer or anyone in government. I forget, the way I said it was like, I said something similar to that type of way,
Okay.
so.
And why did you tell him he should not? You asked him,
Yeah,
is he a citizen, correct?
Yeah, I asked him.
So why can't he ask you
No, I agree, no,
if you're a citizen?
I told him. So I explained to him the whole situation. I said to him, yes, because, you know, I want him to know certain things of the law, like, you know, meaning that, yeah, you can ask any cop and stuff like that, but depending on if they might get upset with the situation, because like, he got upset on the fact I asked him that, yes.
Okay.
You know, it's like someone asking me.
Were you upset when he asked you were you a citizen?
No,
Did you take offense to it?
no,
Is it against the law for a citizen or resident or just an individual period to ask officers questions?
no, you can ask me any questions, yeah.
Okay, what law were you referring to when you told him he could not have the jet ski on the beach?
It was a state statute and not more. So he was using the bottom of that jet ski to moor it.
Okay, what is the definition of mooring?
Well, in this definition,
No. What is not this definition? What is the definition of mooring?
is parking a boat.
You sure about that?
It's mostly, yes, parking the
You
boat.
sure about that?
Yeah, it's using the boat as a parking,
Okay.
using the boat. But they're saying the mooring is using something to tie it down.
What state statute were you giving him or were you quoting when you told him it's against the law?
327, hold on. 327.4109. There's a subsection of it.
Okay. Well, my question is this. You know what subsection that is? And do you know exactly what it said when you at the time of making contact with him?
Yeah, I knew they couldn't moor it. So the thing is that when I read through this, that, you know, some people interpret the law differently. So one person interpreted it one way, another person is going to interpret it a different way. So how I interpreted it was that the bottom was used as a moor to park it. That's really what it comes down to. That's why I thought it's park as mooring, because you're parking the boat. You're stopping movement of it. But on the vessel side of what other people say is mooring is you use a tow, and it has to be towed in for it. So everyone looks at, yeah, you have to have a hook to tow. That's what they're saying. But how I look at mooring is you're using the bottom or any portion of the boat to stop movement from, you know, the wake of it coming in. That's how I looked at mooring.
Okay. Is there an ordinance in the town saying that any personal watercrafts cannot be in that fashion of how you found that jet ski?
No, there's no ordinance of that.
But you're telling me there's a state law stating that they,
Yeah,
state law, state law, state statute, state law,
Yeah,
saying that they cannot, that it's actually against the law to have your watercraft on the sand.
yeah.
And you're telling me it's 327-4109.
Yeah. But afterwards, after I talked to my sergeant, he's saying no, and it was misinterpreted differently. So now.
In future references, would you, when you deal with the jet ski on the beach, would you actually quote the 327-4109?
From moving forward, no.
Okay. Did you ever tell him just Google the state statute?
Yeah.
Okay, but during the time of contact, you couldn't provide him with it?
Yeah, at that time.
Okay. But you were quoting that law to him, but you couldn't provide him the
I couldn't give him the exact thing.
full information
Yeah.
of it?
But I knew on top of my head that what it was. I didn't want to give him the wrong information. So I said to him, if you could Google it, which I do, I Google things, and I didn't think that was, offensive or anything. So I just figured, if I don't know something, I Google it, or I YouTube it, or I figure it out.
Is it a common practice of you to, when you don't know law, you Google it? You just Google?
Yeah, if you want to see.
Okay, are you aware that there's a Florida State statute book that you need to go to and you should be going to?
No, that's what I use. I use Google searching to get to that site.
Okay, per Empower DMS, you have a Florida State statutes
Yeah.
that's published by PDSO. Anything that's on the internet is not factual.
No, that's what I meant.
So a better resource would be what?
Just to use Florida State statute.
Versus what? Versus what?
Google.
Thank you.
Yes, but.
Okay. During the time of contact, was your BWC activated?
No, because I wanted to have it as a consensual. I didn't think it would need to be activated because it was consensual. I didn't mean. I was just
Okay.
kidding.
Do you understand that once you're quoting law and you're telling someone it's a state statute and they pretty much can get in trouble for it? Do you understand once you're speaking of an incident, you've called it on the radio, and again, it's no longer a consensual encounter, and per policy that BWC was supposed to be on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Also, where was your BWC at the time of contact? Because the complaint advised that you didn't even have it on your person, that he looked and saw
my BWC was charging.
it was charging.
Yeah. It was in the car charging.
Okay. Prior to patrol, did you check your BWC?
Yeah. I do a check.
Okay. And did you advise that it wasn't working? It wasn't charged?
No, it was charged when I started shift. But as the shift goes on, it depletes battery. So
What time did you start shift?
7 in the morning.
7 in the morning. What time did this call come out? What time did you make contact with him?
At 12. Like,
Okay.
no, 12, around 12:40.
So you're informing me currently that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, within 5 hours of your shift, that your BWC battery just goes dead.
Yeah.
Have you informed anyone that 5 hours in your shift that your BWC battery goes dead?
Yeah, I told Larry before. Yeah, because he told me that they shut it off, restart it, and I
Do
charged
you have documentation of that?
No. No, I just charge it in the car. I should have brought my BWC if I was gonna make contact. I was just telling him,
The complainant informed you asked him to move away from a group of subjects who were located at the scene. I know you went over this, but I want to ask you, why did you do that?
Just so I could speak to him privately, and so this way, it's really for him. This way, he doesn't have someone corrosing, telling him. So I want to see from his aspect, but it's also, I don't want them to all gang up on me. So that's why I just, hey, if it was consensual, he could have came to me and talked to me. If he didn't want to, understand.
Okay. Were there any independent witnesses on the scene during your contact?
The family that was in the water with the kids and some of the beachgoers.
Do you know them? Do you have a way of any contact with them? No. Is there any other information you would like to provide to me, or anything you would like to say?
Yeah, earlier that day, well, the reason why I also said that is to get him off his toes, because even earlier that day, I had to do a traffic stop. And that day I did a traffic stop, it was a normal traffic stop. And when the guy did the traffic stop, he ended up doing something different, whether he backed in, and a lot of people, and I was worried that, because the way he did the traffic stop, it was just from that aspect from earlier traffic stop, I was thinking of officer safety. And that's why when I went to him, I just said, let me blurt it out, so this way get him off his toes, this way he's not gonna, because when I walked up to him, I just want to have a consensual encounter, just tell him, hey, just be, listen, just be careful, there's people swimming. I was more concerned about the safety. That's really what I really cared about, but when I was walking up to him, I saw the family, and one family said, oh, it's that person's thing, it could be there. So I just when I walked on, and I just asked him, is this your thing? And he's like, yeah. And I asked him, because he already had his fist clenched already, ready to go. He's already going to be angry. And I could already see that. And he's already putting, I could see boxing stance already on him. He's already about to fight me. I was like, all right. So let me just blurt this out so this way I get him off his toes real quick. And then but the thing is, the way it wasn't effective, because then he says, so I was like, all right. So he's pretty quick then. So I started explaining to him, hey, listen, can I pull you aside from your friends so I could talk to you? And then his friends, went off and started doing their thing and started, skating, but they still came back. So I pulled them, because then they'll go away, then they'll come back. And that's really what it comes down to.
So you're in a fight, you said you advised that, he seemed angry, agitated.
Yeah.
And he was in a fighting stance.
Yeah.
His fist was
clenched.
Did you ever call for backup?
No, because I did not call for backup.
How many subjects? Was there a lot of people on the beach?
There was a lot of people on the beach.
And you felt as if this guy may fight you, correct?
It's him and three other, but the thing is that, I wanted to ease him out, whether I could mentally juke him. Okay. So that was my goal, was to mentally juke him to get him off, off. But the thing is that once I moved him aside, hey, can I talk to you privately? Then his friends walked away, but they kept coming back. So then, as I was telling him some stuff, and then it was a consensual thing, and then that's really it.
How was his demeanor once you pulled him away? Was he still in that stance?
No, he stood down, but the thing is that he was agitated, and I could see that he was angry, and he was agitated. And the thing was that he was also upset that I didn't have the actual statue, but I said from to Google it, because I don't know. But what I should have done moving forward is I've done in the past is give my card and my number, and this way you can always contact me, or I can always follow up and tell them directly what they need. So it's the best solution. But at that time, I was just thinking about how to ease him down. He was very upset with me. I could see that. And, as a young person, my thing was that I didn't want him to hit someone or someone to get injured. That's really what it comes down to. So that was my main thing, was that when he was operating that thing, he's next to swimmers. I explained a lot to him, telling him, telling him it's not swim zone and there's no lifeguard here, and but if your jet ski hits someone or something, that was explained. It's just more a safety concern,
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's really it. But I'm just sorry that I'm really sorry about Erika, how I made the contact. Moving forward, I'll know how to approach it better, and I'll know how to interact it better. I'm sorry that the experience that he has had, especially within our department, that I hope he still comes back and comes to our beaches and stuff, and I hope that he should not have shouldn't have a bad taste of coming here as a visitor. That's really where it comes down to. So I hope he comes back and I'm able to resolve stuff moving forward from this situation, that we are more professional on the back.
Okay. Is everything that you told me the truth?
Yeah.
Have you attempted to deceive or mislead me in any manner?
No.
Are you intentionally withholding any information concerning this matter?
No.
Have you discussed this matter with any person prior to this interview?
No.
Have you discussed this matter with your wife or girlfriend?
No.
Is there anything that you discuss with others that differs from what you told me?
No.
Okay. I would like to thank you for your cooperation in this matter. This concludes the interview. As this investigation is continuing, you are hereby ordered not to discuss any portion of this investigation except with the legal counselor. Any requests to deviate from this instruction must be directed to your commanding officer. This interview is concluding on October 20th, 2022 at 6:42 p.m.